Phantom Breaker was a fighting game from the mid-2010s for the Xbox 360. There's a good chance you might not have heard of it because it didn't exactly take off in the Evo scene and it was relegated to the Xbox Live Arcade only. This was a very weeby fighter that emphasized weapon combat and stances like Last Blade, but with more thigh-high stockings and frilly skirts. At some point in the 2010s, beat-em-ups became popular again, and a lot of it had to do with the Scott Pilgrim game being a hit with its charming Kunio-like visuals and gameplay. Phantom Breaker was spun off with its own beat-em-up called Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds. It was well received and it was ported to PS Vita, PS4, and Xbox One. After Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds became a cult classic, it got DLC characters. Combining all the DLC into one package would be appealing, but instead we got that and more in this ultimate port. Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Ultimate is about a chase to rescue Coco from the nefarious Phantom, a huge, evil old guy. Who are Coco and Phantom? Unless you're a Phantom Breaker veteran, you'll have no idea since this Battlegrounds barely explains anything, despite having plenty of cutscenes and characters arguing about finding Coco. Never mind the story. Anyone who plays Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Ultimate will lose interest in the narrative the instant these girls start yapping about dimensions, ancient clans, and the nightmare world. You're here to throw down the gauntlet and to beat the coins out of everything that moves, learn moves, and fight huge-ass bosses. Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Ultimate is a thick beat-em-up set across 8 stages, with a lot of characters to play as. Anyone who's played Guardian Heroes will feel right at home with its multi-plane levels where foes can be fought in the background or the foreground. You have 2 planes to fight as opposed to 3, which is good because 2 is all you'll ever need and the game has no problem filling the screen with tons of goons and huge thugs to battle. In this version of Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds, the foes are playable, and while they're hilariously unbalanced, it's always fun to play as these joke characters for a laugh. Most of the main cast are chicks from the Phantom Breaker fighting game, which leaned heavily on the weapon combat. Every character does feel diverse and unique, and it warrants multiple playthroughs to experiment with all the different playstyles. There's different perks and mods to equip, and individual stats to boost, and skill trees to master. The combat feels fluent, and it's flashy as hell. A lot of fighting game mechanics found their way into this spin-off. The cancels, the air dashing, and teching are fleshed out, and the range of expression for combos is deep. Pulling off a huge combo that can fluidly connect to another looks and feels incredible. The art in Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds always look great, and this ultimate version packs on more effects to emphasize heavier and more satisfying crunchiness. Unlike the fighting game, the cast in this beat-em-up are reimagined as big-headed babies, or chibi-fied versions of themselves. It's a cute look, and there's some cool enemy designs that prevent this from being a total chick fest. The range of poses, gestures, and fluidity of the animation is some of the best in the genre. The craftsmanship in Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Ultimate is top form, making Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, look like a Chris Chan drawing. Backgrounds are pleasing and have a high contrast lighting, making the image quality pop. The troubles with Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Ultimate are the lack of amusing stage gimmicks. Levels are all basically the same flat plane. There's no parts where players have to outrun a killer bulldozer, no platforming, and there's no elevator stage. The lack of variety feeds into the monotony and the repetitive gameplay. As refined and polished as the combat is, after a while you'll feel numb to it. You can always liven things up by brawling with co-op buddies or partake in the many modes, but at the end of the day, it's a whole lot of noise and relentless fighting on barren, flat stages that look nice. Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Ultimate is an awesome beat-em-up to play at parties and in small doses. It looks incredible and sets the bar very high for pixel art and animation for all beat-em-ups. Even the combat systems and mechanics are unbelievably technical and deep. The tedium creeps up on you faster than a ravenous tarantula on a mescaline bender. There just isn't enough to do, apart from just smacking Phantom's goons with the fat end of a sword.